Hi, my name is Dr. Emil Chuck, Director of Admissions at the Case Western Reserve University School of Dental Medicine. Thank you for accessing this presentation with suggestions on making your ADEA ADSAS application stand out. This presentation is meant to be a continuation of a previously recorded presentation from Dr. Ann Wells that can be accessed from the ADEA Go Dental website and YouTube channel. I hope you get an opportunity to access her presentation with a foundational perspective on the general strategy an applicant should consider when selecting schools to apply to and the holistic admissions process which we employ at CASE. Let's do a short questionnaire right now. Hopefully you have something to record your thoughts visibly on paper or on a device. First, what do you want others to say about you? Let me give you about 15 seconds to come up with a one-sentence answer, beginning with, "I want to be known for." Be as specific as you can when you complete the sentence, but only focus on one thing. 15 seconds now. Okay, your time is up. Now I'll give you 5 seconds. Read what you wrote out loud right now. If you do not have access to a designated pre-health or pre-dental advisor, you should become familiar with the competitive attributes all dental schools seek, as printed in the annual ADEA Official Guide to Dental Schools. This guide can be purchased as a hard copy volume or an electronic book, but most pre-health advising offices have a copy that you can access for free. The question, how can I make my application stand out, is important, as these application and enrollee numbers attest. In general, there have been just over 2 applicants per available dental school chair, but individual schools can review hundreds up to thousands of applicants for their incoming classes. While having strong grades and DAT scores are important, it is important to realize everyone who is applying is smart and individually capable of success in dental school. Consequently, all pre-dental applicants must document their performance in all coursework including pre-dental prerequisites, experience with community service, and clinical exposure or observation. All pre-dental applicants should plan to take the DAT and deliver strong letters of evaluation with their applications. That said, viable applicants not only have all of these elements, but also have exceeded minimal requirements and expectations. So it is important to be able to distinguish your application over hundreds or thousands of other applications an admissions committee will review. Because everyone will have impressive accomplishments and credentials, what will make your application stand out is your ability to present the information in your application. I like to use the concept of designing your application because of a number of concepts that design embraces, as articulated by these quotations. Very good design allows admissions committee members to evaluate the applicant based on his or her accomplishments that are strategically presented to accomplish a purpose. Such design makes it easier for an admissions committee to evaluate your fit with their program. Understand that when you view your application as a product of your best design, you must be sure that you can take ownership and be proud of everything in your application. Your application is a representation of you and your best efforts, no matter what blemishes are apparent. Your satisfaction with your efforts is a reflection of the pride you will have with any dental work you will perform to best serve your patients. Consequently, any applications that are incomplete, such as missing prerequisites, a dearth of dental experience, or the absence of a DAT score, can often be construed as your satisfaction with incomplete effort. In the same way that most patients and dentists would not appreciate incomplete treatment, you want to be sure your application can be as complete as possible. One of the characteristics sought by many admissions committees is evidence of an invested professional relationship from an advisor or mentor. Even before you begin to start the application process, you should have already established very strong relationships with a number of champions who will support you. This begins with early and frequent, sincere interactions with your institution's pre-dental advisors, career services advisors, and writing center coaches. In your time as an undergraduate or in a post-baccalaureate program, you should have identified at least one strong mentor who you have nurtured a professional relationship with to write an honest letter of evaluation for you, even after you completed the program. If your advisors have set up a process of institutional administrator or committee evaluation, make sure you understand the process and embrace the opportunity to get acclimated to the evaluation aspects of the application process. While institutional evaluations are not always required in dental school admissions, often the insight the evaluations provide on the culture and support you have had to excel at your school can help admissions committees determine a better fit with the dental school. Indeed, some schools consider avoiding an established evaluation process for which you are eligible as an indication of your reluctance to be criticized, which is a characteristic that will not serve you in dental school. Taking their advice into consideration, in this presentation I will go over some additional suggestions in making your application stand out. As one applicant out of 12,000 in the entire pool, it is very important to think strategically, even as you are preparing your application, so that the things you do during the application process, in your interview, and afterwards, can convey the confidence you should have. Every pre-dental advisee should be able to answer the question, why dentistry? And back up the answer by describing specific experiences in the dental clinic or in the field that has shaped his or her perception of the culture of dentistry. This includes an ability to articulate very clearly elements of dentistry that include professional regulations and legal liabilities, practice management and decision making, the need to provide access to care to diverse patients, the pressures that may change the practice of dentistry in the future, the importance of working interprofessionally for holistic care of patients, and the application of evidence-based dentistry to contemporary practice. A comprehensive understanding of these facets of dentistry, in addition to the opportunities and limits provided for general dentists and specialists, helps each applicant make solid decisions on his or her future in dentistry. If your cumulative shadowing or observation experience in dentistry or other health professions fails to give you concrete insights into these aspects of clinical practice, you should probably continue conversations and other shadowing experiences until you can. Remember that most applicants have many more hours of exposure to dentistry and clinical practice than required hours stated by dental schools. Competitive applicants understand the importance of networking in preparing an application and in ultimately building a career and a patient base. Networking with representatives of the admissions staff, faculty, current and former students is perhaps the most useful opportunity you have to get real insight about a program beyond the general information provided on the school website or on recruiting materials. Establishing long-term relationships with admission staff and inviting them to do on-site or online recruitment presentations to your pre-dental peers can also help you and your peers with developing very competitive applications as well. Developing a professional impression through asking substantive questions at all times to school representatives in online and in-person meetings is also critical to establishing your profile. While one would believe that most competitive applicants actually do their homework, very few actually network with dental schools. An opportunity like this virtual fair is a prime opportunity to get your questions answered and to develop the relationships that can help you with the process. Using the advice from each admissions office, competitive applicants will construct a timeline and strategy for properly managing their application during the process. Every action taken is one that reflects the professional decision-making of the applicant. So, all applicants are expected to behave honorably, professionally, and with integrity. Respecting the other people who manage the admissions process, such as admissions staff, faculty, references, and application administrators, includes submitting an early application and respectful, timely communication and follow-up. This includes developing questions that reflect the applicant's comprehensive understanding of the program and its educational offerings. Many of you will be fortunate to be invited for interviews at dental schools. It still surprises many in admissions how many applicants fail to behave as a professional when it comes to attire, speech, or behavior. It is your best opportunity to show your future peers your professional persona as a future dentist. When applicants do not dress, communicate, or act professionally, it is in fact insulting to the admissions process and is cause for immediate disqualification at many programs. When meeting your peers, admissions staff, students, or faculty, make sure you communicate your confidence in your preparation for becoming a dentist and openness to being trained at their program. When answering interview questions, no matter what format is used, specific, detailed responses taken from your experiences are always helpful in making you stand out from other applicants, especially those insights that truly reflect your values and perspectives. Most importantly, make sure you have had a formative evaluation of your interviewing skills. Mock interviews are commonly available from your undergraduate career services office, and it's often easier to identify people who have not had opportunities to practice in this process. So let's go back to the original question I asked at the start of this presentation. If you came in late, that's okay. Let me do this now. I'll ask you to write down your response to this question on paper or on some convenient writing device. If you happen to open a notes window, you should have done this by now. So let's repeat the question. What do you want others to say about you? I'll give you about 15 seconds to come up with a one-sentence answer beginning with, I want to be known for. Be as specific as you can when you complete the sentence, but only focus on one thing. 15 seconds now. And your time is up. Now, I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to read what you just wrote out loud. Begin now. Thank you. It is very important to understand what impression you want others to have about you. So your answer to that question is very critical. Here are some other questions for you to consider. Does your self-descriptive sentence highlight your uniqueness? For example, I want to be known for my leadership as an executive officer of my club. Does your answer summarize your values? I want to be known for my ability to connect with those in need. Does your answer highlight your strengths? I want to be known for my academic accomplishments. Does your answer showcase your resilience through challenges? I want to be known for my accomplishments even though I had no one to mentor me as a child. Does your answer identify your long-term goals, purpose, or vision? I want to be known for my passion for working with disabled patients. And does your answer educate others about dentistry? I want to be known for helping others develop habits for their oral health. What I have discovered is that many advisees and applicants fail to come up with an answer that is not otherwise generic or cliche. I want to be an outstanding dentist, or I want to help people fall into those categories. The examples I gave here are even too generic to stand out, so admissions evaluators actually expect you to come up with better answers. While there are many possible right answers you can construct, the best answers provide a specific vision with goals, outcomes, and specific results that can suggest how successful you wish to be. When you finally do come up with a specific, detail-rich response to "I want to be known for," then you have a message that can help your application stand out. You should be sure your message is consistent as a theme, connect with all audiences that you may encounter in the process, and represent your strengths in excelling to emulate professional values, decisions, and behaviors your institution seeks. These messages should be apparent in revealing your sincere interest and preparation to attend the institutions of your choice throughout the process. By having a clear message and treating your application as a product of your best work, you can help promote yourself throughout this process and in your future professional direction in dentistry. Overall, this application must be representative of your best effort, focus, and attention you have given to your future membership in the profession. This presentation should provoke questions among those who want to be a desirable applicant to dental schools. If so, ADEA Go Dental has scheduled a live chat discussion later today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time with me. I hope you're present early with your questions and active engagement in our discussion. If you have an opportunity, do not hesitate to submit your questions in advance to the chat room. Again, I appreciate your attention and participation with the ADEA Go Dental Virtual Fair, and best wishes to you in your application.